When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of the Make We Talk program. This evening we have with us well-known political commentator, no stranger to the Make We Talk program, Mr. Jermaine Barrett. Jermaine, welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and good evening, or I know you have an international audience, so good day or night to you wherever you are.
Indeed. As I always said, we're listening and watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. It's the Make We Talk YouTube channel with yours truly, Jeffrey T.
Yes.
There are some breaking news coming out of Jamaica this evening. Let me look for it. Where the Prime Minister of Jamaica has shuffled his cabinet.
Yes.
And hold on for me, I think. Okay. Well, a news organization in Jamaica has just gotten it that this is Make We Talk breaking news. A news just coming into a news center that Robert Nestor Morgan is no longer Minister of Information. News just coming to a news center that Robert Nestor Morgan, is no longer Minister of Information. He's now in the Office of Economic Growth and Job Creation. Senator Dana is now the Minister of Information. Let me get some more before I can say anything more about this. But news just reaching us that Nestor Morgan is no longer the Minister of Information. Robert Nestor Morgan is no longer the Minister of Information. This evening we're going to speak about constitution reform and dual citizenship. Before we go into all of that, it seems as if there's a fancy going on in our country pertaining to the dual citizenship. And there is somewhere in the Constitution that speaks about Commonwealth citizens. And a lot of Jamaicans are not reading the Constitution. There's a section in the Constitution that speaks about it. We're going to have joining us pretty soon Wilfred Radigan. Going to come on the program here and speak to us about constitutional reform also. But I have with me, Sir Jermaine, your views on the whole thing that is going on in Jamaica, the whole big shalabahumbe that doesn't call for. It's clearly stated that a Commonwealth citizen can sit in the Parliament. I'm not hearing you. I was hearing it earlier, now I'm not hearing it again. Just a moment as he sort out his audio. We're speaking about constitutional reform and dual citizenship. I guess maybe he has to go back out and come back in. I don't know, but we're gonna try and fix the audio now. Now there's no video. We're gonna try and fix the audio clip in here. But based on what is going on, there's a big thing going on in our country about this until Jermaine fixes his audio and his video clippings, we're gonna go to some news clippings about the news day. We're gonna see if we can get the audio clipping of Mr. Mark Jefferson Golden, who spoke today. He sent out a press release today. Jermaine, are you hearing us? Oh Lord, what happened there? I don't know. Let's pray hope we can get back into us. Mr. Golden made a report today, and we're gonna see if we can get the clipping of it.
I note Prime Minister Andrew in a TV interview this morning. Neither he nor his party is the president of the People's National Party and leader of the opposition, Mark Golding. I note Prime Minister Andrew Holness's remarks in a TV interview this morning. Neither he nor his party has made those proposals as part of the process of constitutional reform. His proposals are therefore not in the report of the Constitutional Reform Committee and will not be in the new constitution coming out of that process. Furthermore, Mr. Holness's proposals this morning are not in the existing constitution and would violate the existing constitution. This is in keeping with his and his government's.
Jermaine, are you hearing us?
Yes, I'm hearing. Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing it loud and clear. Let's listen to what Mr. Golden is saying. Then I have
Yes,
your comment.
I'm listening. No problem.
Okay, sir, hold on. Start back over.
Is the president of the People's National Party and leader of the opposition, Mark Golding. I note Prime Minister Andrew Holness's remarks in a TV interview this morning. Neither he nor his party has made those proposals as part of the process of constitutional reform. His proposals are therefore not in the report of the Constitutional Reform Committee and will not be in the new constitution coming out of that process. Furthermore, Mr. Holness's proposals this morning are not in the existing constitution and would violate the existing constitution. This is in keeping with his and his government's unfortunate history of past violations of the Constitution of Jamaica. It seems that the Prime Minister wants to make up a rule which is not part of the Constitution or laws of Jamaica to suit his party's political fortune at a time when it is waning. He has no power and no authority to do that. Mr. Holness needs to tell Jamaica why his statutory declarations to the Integrity Commission cannot be certified. I am compliant with the Constitution and laws of Jamaica, and I undertake to the people of Jamaica that I will continue to be so.
Let's go outside and start. Wow. You comment on that, Sir Jermaine?
Well, I think it is clear that the Jamaican Constitution does permit, Commonwealth citizens to sit in our parliament, and the disclosure now that Mark Golding is in fact a British citizen does not mean that he's in any way whatsoever violating the laws of Jamaica. So I think we need to get that clear. It is my view, though, that to be a member of the Jamaican Parliament, full stop, and I know this is an unpopular view for yourself and many of your audience members here, that to be a part of the Jamaican Parliament, you really should hold but one citizenship, that of a Jamaican citizenship. I'm prepared to stand by that and defend that, but I'm also equally willing to engage other persons with divergent views. And I'm not saying that I'm unwilling to relent, but I have some views right now that I think comport with an idea that says that to be within the Jamaican Parliament, to be a legislator, be it within the House of Representatives or the Senate, you ought to be a Jamaican citizen, full stop. What that means is that I am against the current provision that allows for Commonwealth citizens who have been domiciled in Jamaica for 1 year, to be eligible to sit in our parliament. So I'll start there.
there is something I want to put up on the screen here.
Yes.
And it's
You may have to describe it to
subsection.
me. Recall, I can't see. So go ahead.
I know.
Yes.
I'll read for you. Subsection, subject to the privilege of section 40
Yes.
of the said Constitution of Jamaica,
Yes.
any person who at the date of his appointment or nomination for election is a Commonwealth citizen of the age of 21 years and upward, has been ordered residence in Jamaica, obtained residence in Jamaica for immediately provision 20 months, shall be qualified to be appointed as senator or elected as a member of the House of Representatives. That is in the Constitution of Jamaica. So when everybody's talking about the gentleman can't serve, and let me make something clear this tonight. I am not speaking as a member of the People's National Party, because I'm not a member of the People's National Party. I'm not speaking as a member of the Labour Party. I'm not a member of the Labour Party. What I'm speaking as a Jamaican, and the Constitution of Jamaica clearly states that he can sit in the Parliament. So, Jeremy, are you there with us? Jeremy, are you hearing us? What's going on here? Jeremy? Oh, Lord. Jeremy, are you hearing us? We have lost audio and everything with Jeremy. I don't know why it's, they don't want him to talk tonight. Jeremy, are you hearing us? Oh, Lord. But listen, based on what this said, 39, chapter 39 of section 40 of the Jamaican Constitution clearly stated a Commonwealth citizen of the age of 21 years and upward has been a resident of Jamaica for immediate possession of 21 months. In other words, you're in Jamaica, you're living in Jamaica for over 21 months or 12 months, year or so. Oh Lord, no, he's coming on and there is no connection with him. I'm gonna have to call him. Oh, here it is.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, Jeremy, I'm hearing you now.
Yes, and are you seeing me?
I'm seeing it also. What I'm saying,
yes,
based on your word of the Constitution,
yes,
section 40 of the Constitution. Did you hear what I said?
Yes, I heard it. Yes, section 40.
Okay.
Yes.
Your comment on that for me now, please, sir.
So it is clear. I think this is, you see, this is a discussion not about what the Constitution permits. Yes. Certainly, I have not heard a public commentator worth their salt dispute the fact that it is permissible for persons with Commonwealth nationalities who meet the provisions set out in the Jamaican Constitution to sit in the Jamaican Parliament. So there's no dispute there. The question in my mind is whether or not it ought to be. So we have a discussion about is. I don't think there's a discussion there. It is emphatically the case. The question is, ought it to be the case? As we explore and pursue constitutional reform at this time, should we permit the status quo to continue, or should we change that status quo? And I'm advancing arguments in favor of changing for an arrangement whereby you must hold on their Jamaican citizenship in order to sit in our parliament. I think that is what obtains in most democracies across the world. I've heard the argument, for example, that, well, Jamaica has such a large diaspora that contributes so significantly to the country at large. And I'm incredibly grateful for the diaspora. They have essentially built Jamaica to a large extent, but I don't think that qualifies them to sit in our parliament, given the fact that a parliament exists to create laws to govern every aspect of people's lives, and the decisions made by a parliamentarian must be inherited by those parliamentarians. So the provision whereby somebody could essentially create a law in Jamaica, yes, to affect the lives of people living on the island, and then when those laws operate in a way that does not inure to the benefit of that individual, they simply leave and go to their other country, to which they are a citizen, is problematic for me.
So Jermaine,
Yes.
is there any part in the Constitution that suggests that a Commonwealth citizen cannot become Prime Minister?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. In as much as you merely need to be in the parliament, we know how the process works, where you simply need to be a successful member of parliament, having gone through an election and commandeer the support of the majority of parliamentarians, and you are so appointed as prime minister by the governor general. That's what obtains currently in Jamaica. Of
Right.
note, of interest to me, and maybe some of your constituents here, that in Jamaica we don't vote for the prime
leader.
minister. We
No.
don't vote for the leader. We only vote presumably for the member of parliament. And I say presumably because it does create a conflict as it exists right now, where I'm going to vote, I see a party and I see the name of a candidate associated with the party. I might like that candidate, and so I vote for that candidate, but I don't like the fact that my vote is contributing to that party's becoming the government, and ultimately the candidate for prime minister being so designated. That might be a problem. I might not like the candidate, but like the prime minister. So it does create a dissonance in the minds of the voter, which I'm sure doesn't exist to that extent at all in the United States.
But as a lot of Jamaicans are saying that because of what the Prime Minister said on CBM today,
yes,
that a leader of a country cannot be a Commonwealth citizen. It is not in the Constitution of Jamaica.
So I think it was that he wants for it to be impermissible for a Commonwealth citizen. So I don't think he's saying, I listened to the comment, I didn't get that he was saying that it is illegal right now. I think it was more an aspirational statement, although, arguably he used the wrong terms, but I think he's really meaning that he wants for it to be the case. Again, the clip that you just broadcast from Mark Golding makes a salient point that it is troubling that the Prime Minister now comes with those particular viewpoints in the public domain, but then somehow those viewpoints have not entered the discussion with respect to the deliberations of the CRC. Certainly the report that is not yet public, but the leader of the opposition would have had the privilege of reading through it and being able to assess it, digest it even. He is indicating here that no such recommended change is contained in the document. So as far as it stands right now, it's simply the Prime Minister's view. At best, you could even say the Prime Minister's view represents the Jamaica Labour Party's view, but somehow there is no, according to the leader of the opposition, there is no evidence of that view within the report of the Constitutional Reform Committee. I might add. So go ahead. You
go ahead. Go ahead, Andy. Go ahead.
I may make the point as well that it is troubling because arguably it does a disservice to the deliberations and the report of the Constitutional Committee. If something as central to this being articulated by the Prime Minister was not voiced, was not engaged with by the committee, assuming that it was not, right? It is problematic. It is troubling because what it probably then implies is that the government who controls the membership of the CRC would not have been able to advance such a position during its deliberation. That I think is a bit concerning as well.
You know why I am debating so much on the whole Commonwealth citizen?
Yes.
A lot of Jamaicans do not understand, and I'm not disrespecting my fellow Jamaicans. A lot of Jamaicans have not read the Constitution.
Right, correct.
There is nowhere in the Constitution that said that a Commonwealth citizen cannot be elevated to a prime minister.
Right. That is true.
Absolutely nowhere in the Constitution. Am I wrong? Am I right, sir?
You are correct. You are correct. The Constitution is as clear as day on this matter, right? You don't need a lawyer. In fact, and I'm sure Mr. Rattigan would come and say the very same thing. Him being a lawyer, you don't
Yes.
need somebody with legal expertise to make that kind of pronouncement. It is clear, right? No doubt about it. And so I'm led to believe that the Prime Minister's utterances today may reflect a position that he would wish to have advanced in the new Jamaican constitution.
Jeremy, not to continue, but I think
Yes.
the Prime Minister's utterance today is confusing the people. It's to confuse the people some more.
Yes, yes. Well, he needs to come out and
He
clarify.
must make it clear that in the Constitution of Jamaica, it did not state
Mhm.
that a Commonwealth citizen cannot be elevated to prime ministership. It did
Right.
not say that.
Right.
And for him to
But
make
you know,
such utterance, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, but in our very heated political environment now, I hear claims being made. For example, Mark Golding is saying that he has no authority and no powers to make those kinds of sort of dictatorial moves, if you will. My words here.
Yes.
Again, I don't know if I'm being overly charitable to the Prime Minister, but I don't think that that's what he was trying to do. He's not declaring a position that, okay, for you to be Prime Minister, you must retain only a Jamaican citizenship. And therefore, if you go against that, then somehow I'm going to rule with my sort of all-powerful authority, not to make that happen, not to make that illegal. He's not above the Constitution. The Constitution is clear, and if that is his position in a democracy, he has to operate within the confines of the law in order to effect any such change. So again, I make the point that it is an ought, it is a wish, it is a desire. That's how I interpret it.
Yes. And what we must do, Jermaine, is let our listeners and the public know that in the Constitution of Jamaica, and I'm going to repeat it, in the Constitution of Jamaica, it did not say that no Commonwealth citizen cannot be elevated to Prime Minister. It did not say that.
Right.
Two. We are debating the whole idea of citizenship of Commonwealth citizen and also constitutional reform. Is it that if Jamaica should become a republic, okay?
Yes.
And we say bye-bye to the king, but yet we still remain a member of the Commonwealth, how does that look? It makes no sense.
Right.
To me, it doesn't make any sense.
And I'm agreeing with you, because I don't know what gain there is to be had by being a member of the Commonwealth. It is a dying imperial power, Britain, colonial power, trying to maintain some relevance in the world, and that's what it is. It used to be called the British Commonwealth, to stamp Britain's authority and Britain's effective control over these countries, Commonwealth countries. We drop the British part and we just call it the Commonwealth of Nations. Yes,
right.
But it's Britain's attempt at maintaining relevance, because the Commonwealth is headed by the King of England. Yes, so that is problematic for me, because in as much as there is no advantage, I don't know what the Commonwealth does beyond having the Commonwealth Games, which is in shambles right now. We can't even find a host to host it. It just goes to show the irrelevance of the Commonwealth in this day and age.
We have joining us our good friend Wilfred Rattigan, the man with the plan.
Hi, Will.
We're not hearing it, really. We're not hearing you.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Good evening.
Yes.
Loud and clear. All Waterhouse
Good
hearing you
evening.
now.
Good. Yes, sir. How you doing? Long
Mr.
time no
Rattigan,
see.
it's been a while. Mr. Rattigan, I see you're giving trouble, man. You're giving trouble all over the place. You must behave yourself, Must be
All right, you know
a
what?
good little member of the diaspora. And send money
No,
our way.
I'll only listen to you. If you tell me I must stop, then I'll stop. But if you just
Indeed.
If you
Mr.
don't
Yes.
tell me
Rattigan,
to stop, I'm gonna continue.
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Rattigan, I'm glad you come on. I want you to, your views on the whole dual citizenship thing. Because is it that, the Prime Minister made an utterance today, and I think I'm going to find the clipping for you to hear what the Prime Minister said today. Because I think,
Mhm.
I am not saying that the Prime Minister is, but maybe he did not deliberately did it. But I think he's confusing the Jamaican people, when he said that no Commonwealth citizen should be sitting in the Parliament as a Prime Minister, or even as a Prime Minister. It is not in the Constitution of Jamaica. There's nowhere in the Constitution it said that a Commonwealth citizen cannot become Prime Minister. It did not say that.
No, it doesn't
You,
say that.
you,
In fact,
go
go ahead.
ahead.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
No,
Finish.
go
I'm
ahead,
looking
sir.
for something. No, I'm looking for something here. I'll find something. Go ahead.
So, for all of us who are on this platform here tonight listening to us, take off your PNP and your JLP hat and put on the Jamaica hat. The Constitution is what we are going by. Not what Mark Golding said or Andrew Horner said. It's what the Constitution of Jamaica that guide us. That's what we are going by.
Mm. I want to jump in here. It might be a
Go
small
ahead.
point, but a point worth making. I have a little. Are you seeing me on camera?
Yes, I'm senior man. Yes.
Right. So you notice my background is orange, and people accuse me of being comrade and pro-PNP because of my background. I said, listen, man, we're too tribalist in this country. I happen to paint my
Yes.
little background orange. Absolutely not aligning myself or being, committed to any party. I just like this color, burnt orange,
Right.
although I can't see it.
Yes.
So anyway, just wanting to just drop that in there that everything we keep seeing through green lens and orange lens,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to wear transparent lens and see the world for what it is.
And I think if a lot of people would just sit and get a copy of the Constitution and go through it, and it's a long it's a hell of a document,
Yeah.
But take your time and go through it and educate yourself.
Yeah.
If Jamaica is a member of the Commonwealth, the question we must ask our leaders, if we remove from Britain, are we going to still remain a member of the Commonwealth of Nations? And if so, is it that Commonwealth citizens can still sit in the Parliament, although we are a republic?
And that's something that we must also enlighten the viewers about. The fact that
Yes.
you are no longer your republic does not mean that you automatically drop out of the Commonwealth. We have republics that are actually members of the Commonwealth of Nations.
Yes.
So there's a lot. I know there's a lot of you just talking around and talking with people here in Jamaica. People believe that when we become a republic, we're no longer part of the Commonwealth. Well, that's not true.
That's not true
several-
because Barbados is, Trinidad and Tobago is, India is,
republic, right? And they're republics,
You know.
precisely.
Mr. Arthur, you ready for us, sir?
Seems to be digging up some research. Yeah.
Unmute your mic, sir.
Yeah, it's to me, it's a waste of time to argue this point. It's a waste because if I were advising Mark Golding, all I would tell him to do is just say to them simply this: if you think that I've broken any laws, if you think that I've violated the Constitution or any regulations, then take me to task by this Friday, close of business. And if you do not, then you owe me an apology. It's that simple. It's nothing in a woolly argument with nobody. Just say, if you think I broke a law, then fine. Go to the DPP or go to wherever you need to go and have them initiate action against me. Because then you put the ball back in their court and now they have to do something now. The Jamaican people are going to look and say, well, the man say, well, if you're not having a goods on him, then fine, bring it out. And them can't bring it out. And you say, if you can't bring it out, then you give me you give me an apology. Because look, here it is. It says that a person shall be qualified to be registered as an elector. That's for that's to become to vote, right?
Is that section 40? Oh no,
37.
37.
Yeah. and it talks about the same thing, Commonwealth citizen. If you're resident in Jamaica for a year, then you are eligible to vote. You're eligible to come to contest elections, and theoretically, somebody from Bangladesh or Australia or New Zealand or a whole bunch of African countries, members of the Commonwealth, they could come to Jamaica, live in Jamaica for a year, vote or run in the election, win a seat, and if the party, the winning party, if they're a member of the winning party could say, we want this person to be the prime minister. There's nothing constitutional that would prevent them from doing so. So all the other things you hear about, they just talk. It's that simple. I don't know why people getting all riled up over this.
I say the same thing, my friend. Yeah.
Not only that, Mr. Rattigan, I think the Prime Minister of Jamaica need to come clean with the Jamaican people. Why I'm saying that? This morning, the Prime Minister on CBM said that he doesn't see it. He doesn't believe that a member of the Commonwealth should be elevated to Prime Minister status. And he makes the people of Jamaica believe that it's in the Constitution when it's not in the Constitution.
That's his opinion. And everybody's
That's just his
entitled
opinion.
Even if the opinion is a wrong one, they're entitled to it. And the idea, look, that sentiment is expressed by a lot of people. But the fact of the matter is that there's nothing you can do about it until you amend the Constitution, because the Constitution provides for it. So you may think otherwise, but there's nothing you can do. For example, I don't think the Governor General should have the responsibility of proclaiming a state of emergency. But the Constitution says that he's the only person who can. And so we just abide by it until you change it. It's that simple. So, I don't see that. I really don't see the argument. Not only that, Section 3 of the Constitution says you can't discriminate against anybody based on origin, color, religion, sex, all of these things. So I don't know why the fuss. All Mark Golding has to do is say to them, listen, I was born here. It's that simple. And I was born here. I have a passport of a Commonwealth country. No problems with that. Now, if you have a problem with it, then you have until Friday to explain to the Jamaican people what the problem is with it, and you better make sure it's a problem that they can disqualify me from Parliament, or one where they can hold me in violation of some law or some regulation or the Constitution. Otherwise, by Monday, I expect a full and unqualified apology. That's it.
Well, Mr. Rattigan, though, apology for what? Because I think we are reflecting on the fact that Jamaicans have misunderstood what our Constitution is all about, because of, you could argue, how the Prime Minister has expressed his opinion, his desire. But because we don't operate government by decree here in Jamaica, yes, the Prime Minister's word doesn't become law. The Prime Minister is right. And he's okay. I mean, he can say anything, quite frankly. He can express any desire, just like how I, as a private citizen, have expressed at the earlier part of this conversation that I don't believe that any Jamaican sitting in our parliament should have any other citizenship other than that of a Jamaican. It doesn't make it law, right?
Exactly.
So I want for us to, and I think I agree with you 100%. I would actually entreat us that the conversation advance towards looking at whether or not it should be the case. Not what is, because the Constitution is emphatically clear. But should we, as we are configuring a new Constitution now, should we not have a national discussion about whether or not somebody with a dual citizenship, a Jamaican citizen and a UK or US citizen or whatever the other case may be, should that person be eligible, be qualified to sit in our parliament?
Well, let me for the audience, let me just read something. There's an article in the Gleaner dated November 8th, 2011, and I have to give Will Noon some credit for bringing this to my attention. And it's entitled, you're sitting down, right?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
All right. Because if you don't sit on this one, it's gonna put you on your chair. The title of the article is Wholeness Bats for Dual Citizens in Parliament. That's the
Well,
title.
he did that today, though. He did that today because he did say that he's okay and his party's position is for dual citizenship to be allowed within the parliament. The only exception he's prepared to make now is that the prime minister should not be allowed to have dual citizenship. So I don't know if it is that we maintain.
So
It makes no sense.
So then what's the problem with Mark Golding? I don't understand that then. If he's saying that it's
No, because
okay
he's
for
saying-
people. Eh?
No, he's saying that the leader of the opposition and the prime minister alone should be exempted from having dual citizenship. So they alone shouldn't be allowed to. And he makes the case that in his mind, the important role that these parliamentarians play as leader of the government, in the case of the prime minister, leader of the opposition, centrally establishing yourself as being prime minister in waiting. These are such important roles, more so than a member of parliament, that it should effectively you should be disqualified from having another citizen other than that of a Jamaican.
Well, let me answer that.
Mhm.
If the role is so important,
Mhm.
that leadership role is so important, then it should be important for you to have your statutory declarations. Yeah.
Declare, yes.
What that means then is that if you can, somebody could easily make the argument that if you can get your statutory declarations verified by the anti-corruption agency that you established, you have no business leading the country, because there are questions about your finances which could lead to other things as well. So the argument is foolish. It's foolish. And if you wanted to make that argument, wait a minute, did he just wake up now and have a flashback and start thinking about this? Because why wasn't this part of the discourse with the Constitutional Review Committee?
I just made that point. I made that point earlier on.
See?
That it, I think it undermines, quite frankly, the Constitutional Reform Committee, because let's be clear, the government has the majority of members on this committee. It means therefore that the government's position is what is largely going to be expressed in the reports coming out of this committee. Yes, in fact, they have a power as government to cajole and to push and to propel the opposition representatives there until they relent. And if they don't relent, they can always just say, well, here's a minority, here's a majority position that is held by the committee. These two members who are represented by the opposition, they don't sign on to it, but it's still the majority. We send it on to cabinet. Right? But the fact that we in the public, we don't know what this report is or what it says, but the opposition leader has come out and said, well, he, having had the privilege of reading the report, sees no evidence of that position articulated by the Prime Minister expressed in it. And so there is fundamentally a dissonance.
Right. And so this is what you call political. This is what I would call political, because it's not there. It should have been there. No discussion. And then you bring this up at the end. To me, why? Why?
What
didn't he, wait a minute.
Opportunism.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a private view he had that he just never bothered to share, but finds it opportune now to share it because of the heat of the moment, you know?
Yeah. When he was making all of those 100-day promises about taking legislative action to limit the term for prime minister and to put in impeachment procedures and all these things, he wasn't thinking about this?
Good question.
Or if he wasn't, why wasn't he thinking about this? To me, this now is really political. This is really political, because what it tells me now is that, see, you're not dealing with the issues. No, you're going after the person, right? And there was no reason for you to go after the person before, because you would have. So now you're just you're drowning, and you're just catching at anything that you can catch at. And like I said, if I were Mark Golding, if I were advising him, I'd say to him, listen, bring your action against me or shut up and apologize. End the story. That's it. I wouldn't get into this back and forth and start giving them your family tree and your family history, and because you know what that is doing? That is taking away from your focus, which is the issues affecting the Jamaican people and how you plan to make it better for them. That's where your focus should be. Shouldn't be on this. So what I'd put the ball back in their court. I'd say, look, Apparently, you folks have a problem with this, right? And I hope it's not just a problem that it's a problem where there is no substance to it and you're just grabbing at things. So here's what you do. Since you raise it, then raise it to the fullest extent. Bring your action against me. What kind of action they're going to bring? No action. And then conversation over. And just tell them, if I don't hear from you by Friday, and just tell the Jamaican people, them claim that there's a problem with this, tell them to come and show where there is a problem with this, constitutionally, legally, and otherwise. And if they can't show it, then need to give me an apology. And then you just move on and say, let's talk about the water situation now. Let's talk about crime. Let's talk about education. Let's talk about housing. Let's talk about the health crisis. Let's talk about the bogus conference that we're going to have June 16th through 19th in Montego Bay, while the real organization will have their conference 16th through 19th at 9 time. These are things we must come talk about. Let's talk about the protests overseas that are highlighting our inefficiencies and our maladministration.
And I thought those journalists were going to ask me about that, but obviously didn't ask me about that at all. But you know, Mr. Rattigan, you're correct, you know, and I think. And I think, well, I'm going to delete somebody from this platform right now. Have a good night. Talk to you later. Don't come back over here. And I think it is our duty. It is our duty to really educate the people some more about this. I want you all to listen to a clipping, a news item from Nationwide News. I want you to listen to this. Hold on.
Members of Parliament, they should not be. And the UK Prime Minister Andrew Holness says while he supports dual citizens sitting as members of Parliament, they should not be eligible to serve as Prime Minister or opposition leader. In a television interview Monday, Mr. Holness declared that those who aspire to be the ultimate leader of Jamaica must not have split loyalties.
To be the ultimate executive leader of the country, you should have no other citizenship. There should be no question by your citizens that you lead, that you have somehow split loyalties, that you have a parachute should in case anything go wrong, that you may not be subject to the full force of the laws of the country that you serve because you are a citizen of another country. You could always find a way out.
But in a quick response on social media, opposition leader Mark Golding stated that the Constitution does not support that.
I note Prime Minister Andrew Holness's remarks in a TV interview this morning. Neither he nor his party has made those proposals as part of the process of constitutional reform. His proposals are therefore not in the report of the Constitutional Reform Committee and will not be in the new constitution coming out of that process. Furthermore, Mr. Holness's proposals this morning are not in the existing constitution and would violate the existing constitution.
Mr. Golding himself has admitted to being a dual citizen. He's a Jamaican citizen by birth and a UK citizen by descent. Mr. Golding says he has not renounced his British citizenship as it's not legally necessary for him to do so. Section 39, Part A of the Jamaican Constitution says any person who, at the date of their appointment or nomination for election, can serve in Parliament as long as he or she is a Commonwealth citizen of the age of 21 years and upwards. According to Mr. Golding, the Prime Minister's proposal is consistent with a pattern of unconstitutional moves by his administration.
This is in keeping with his and his government's unfortunate history of past violations of the Constitution of Jamaica.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point. And you know what's funny? Here's what's funny now, right? I'm reading the article here, the one that says Holness bats for dual citizens in Parliament, right? At
Can
the
you
very
please read
end.
it first?
Okay, I'll read it. It says
Please.
here, Prime Minister, and this was when he was Prime Minister. It says Prime Minister Andrew Holness says he's in support of calls to amend the Constitution to allow persons with dual allegiances to offer themselves for political office. It made no allowances for if it's a prime minister, leader of the opposition. It just said he just said if you have dual citizenship, you can offer yourself for political office. It said Holness, who was leader of government business in the House of Representatives, headed a parliamentary committee to determine how to treat with the issue. He said it was unfair to some members of the diaspora who are barred by the Constitution from serving the legislature. Goes on to say the Jamaican Commonwealth is its diaspora, and the way the law is structured now, we're giving preference to the British Commonwealth to represent us, whereas we should really be looking at ensuring that it is the Jamaican Commonwealth that is able to come back to its country and participate, Holness told the Glean in a recent interview. Under the Constitution, persons who are under the acknowledgement of allegiance or obedience to a foreign power do not qualify to sit in Parliament. Persons who are citizens of Commonwealth countries can be elected to Parliament, providing they have lived in the country for 1 year prior to nomination day. Holness, like his predecessor Bruce Golding, believes that the law is unfair. Quote, the Commonwealth of Jamaica is not necessarily a British Commonwealth, and if we're making allowances for the British Commonwealth to be able to sit in our Parliament, we should also make allowances for the Jamaican Commonwealth, which could include our diaspora in the UK, Canada, and the US, he said. I think that would be a really positive move of really integrating, especially the American diaspora, Holness added. However, opposition member of Parliament Ronald Thwaite said, we had no choice but to wait for his leadership in the parliamentary committee, and it never came. Thwaite recalled that the Holness Committee was established to determine whether there was need for constitutional reform to allow for dual citizens to serve in Parliament. See, this was back in 11, you know, and you know what it says? Thwaite recalled that the Holness Committee was established. So there was a committee established to do what? To determine whether there was need for constitutional reform to allow for dual citizens to serve in Parliament. This is 2011.
So what happened between 2011 and now?
I don't know. Then here Thwaite went on to say he was put in charge of this committee. He, meaning the Prime Minister Holness. It met on one occasion with urgent need to keep going to clarify the position. I suggested public hearings where various views can be canvassed with a view to considering an amendment to the Constitution, Thwaite said. That was about a year ago, and he has never reconvened that committee, despite the fact that I have raised the issue several times in the House. I have written to him and to the Speaker asking what is happening to this committee, he added. In the meantime, Holness said, listen to this, quote, while the law is as it is, we must abide by the law. So, the law is that if you have if you have Commonwealth citizenship, then you're fine. That's the law. And don't forget that he headed a committee that was supposed to submit reform to change this. And he met, according to Thwaite, they met once and they never met again. So it's a way. This to me is a non-argument.
I think what the Prime Minister is doing, you know, and I hope to God is not what he's doing. But I think what he's doing is trying to detract from the issues that's facing this country by sending the nation on a frenzy about Mark Golding dual citizenship. Jermaine, am I wrong or am I right?
Sorry, repeat that for me. I didn't quite get that.
I'm saying for the Prime Minister to come out and utter such remarks, and in 2011 he was all for dual citizenship, and now he's not for it.
Listen. I share an extremely unpopular view here, and I think this is a platform where all views must contend. It is regrettable. It is regrettable that the statement was made at this time, given the history that Mr. Rattigan just outlined, and we know the context, right? We know that it might be seen as being a comment, a view that is not genuine. But you know what? I would like to take advantage of the opportunity to have a discussion about it. And I think we've certainly beat the horse dead already as to whether or not it is constitutionally permissible. It
Right.
is constitutionally permissible. So let's lay that aside. The conversation that I find that I'm particularly interested in is whether or not we should amend the Constitution to exclude persons from our parliament who hold dual citizenship. That's my view. I think that that's something that we ought to be considering, but that's my personal view. Or what kind of arrangement should we be countenancing as we go about evolving into the new Jamaica, the Jamaican Republic, yes? So I want a conversation that is more looking at the prescription as opposed to the description as to what currently obtains. Because again, that matter is done and dusted for me, right? So if I may just articulate in my, some of what constitutes a basis for my view right now. If it is that, when it is that, for example, you're swearing allegiance, and I don't know, Mark Gordon never swore any allegiance, but somebody who swears an allegiance to a country, the Pledge of Allegiance generally goes, you're pledging to hold, to demonstrate true allegiance to another country. We know that Jamaica is a small island developing state, and we know that our foreign policy doesn't hold much weight, and we don't get into conflict with our country and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But my question is, and it's a bit hypothetical, but just bear me out. What if you have somebody with another nationality who has sworn allegiance to another country, sitting in the Jamaican parliament, and an issue comes up on which Jamaica needs to express, or that parliamentarian needs to vote in a way that might very well be inimical to the interests of that foreign power, for which they pledge to serve, to bear true allegiance? I can't be assured that that person is committed to bearing allegiance to Jamaica and Jamaica alone. Not when the issue may very well be a mutually exclusive one, meaning you have to support one power or the other. How am I going to be certain that you're going to be supporting the interest of Jamaica? That is of concern to me. And so for me, I'm at the position where I'd say, listen, carte blanche, no dual citizen should be allowed in our parliament. And it sounds extreme, it sounds crude, but that's the view I hold. Yes.
Well, let me ask, how do you determine if somebody has dual citizenship?
Well, first of all, I think no, I know. So I'm arguing from principles here. There are pragmatic considerations that one has to bear in mind, and maybe the pragmatic might reveal that it's not practical for us to legislate and police the matter. But assuming that such a mechanism exists whereby you can ascertain whether or not somebody has dual citizenship. So, for example, going into the parliament, you make a pledge, you make an oath. You say, I declare that I have only one nationality and I'm loyal to one country and one country only, Jamaica.
But that doesn't say that.
I know it doesn't. But it's a start. It's a start for me. Right?
But might be a false start because it might be listen. How many of them take a pledge when they're going? Because they take a pledge when they're going, right?
Yes.
For Parliament. How many of them abide by those pledges? How many of them? Won't make for say anything. So then we're telling that. Here's another thing. You know why I ask you the question? Because you could have someone who's eligible for a citizenship of another country, but the person doesn't presently have a passport. But that doesn't prevent the person a year from now from applying for that passport. So the person could say when they enter Parliament that, hey, my allegiance is to Jamaica, and then a week later them go and get a passport from wherever. Right? How would you know? You wouldn't know. And then you would have a person sitting inside you with dual citizenship. And you wouldn't know.
But and so it's a question not so much of legislation, it's a question of establishing what I consider to be moral and ethical standards. And not everything you can legislate. You, Mr. Rattigan, would very well know that not every facet of human life can be legislated in black and white text.
I agree.
So the question for me is, and I hold the view now, but it's not a view I hold that I'm saying, listen, I'm unshakable in that conviction. Because I know, for example, that there are many honorable, good Jamaicans living in the diaspora who happen to hold another nationality, who could do very well in terms of operating in our parliament. Yes. And so again, that's a contending view in my mind, yes. But how to police it, I don't know. I'm not the expert. I'm not the technocrat here. But so I'm engaging on it at a sort of at a principled level. You know.
Well, look, the June of last year, right? They came out with something. The Office of the Prime Minister came out with something called job description for members of Parliament in Jamaica, right? And if they wanted to, they could have put something inside there about that, but they didn't. Right? But let me just read you one thing that they said. They said members of Parliament are first and foremost representatives of the people. They are elected or appointed to serve the interests of the public generally and the interests of their constituency in accordance with the greater good of the society or community and in keeping with the laws and constitution of Jamaica.
Yes. But the Prime Minister said it before, in that article. He says, well, if that's what it is, then that's what it is. So again, I think we're trying to craft the Prime Minister out, and regrettably.
But why is he bringing it? But if he said that in 2011, said, look, the law is it, until you change it, the law is what it is. Why bring that up now?
But we have seen a trend with this Prime Minister, you see? I would say he's a Prime Minister that reminds me a bit of Obama. Pontificates a lot, does not do enough to demonstrate to the people that his words translate into actions. And that's it. And I think that's probably what the Prime Minister was doing back from that time, and probably was doing this morning, right? Doesn't use his prime ministerial authority and influence to enact policies that align with his views, or to engage the population at large in a broad-based conversation around it. For example, let me give you a quick example. We've been having a discussion in this country for some time now, led by the Prime Minister himself, about corporal punishment, yes? And the Prime Minister says, and he goes and he pontificates like he's a sociologist, saying, we shouldn't beat children because it leads to all sorts of manners of harm upon our children. And we shouldn't have nasty music being played in the ears of children because they're so impressionable, etc., etc. But where is the legislation? Where is look, before you even get to legislation, where is the broad-based conversation? Where is the commission that's been established to really dig into these matters, to look at what the empirical evidence says about these things and bring evidence and spark a national conversation around these matters so as to galvanize democratic support and then ultimately have that translated?
Hold on for me, please. I'm going to block some people from this platform. This platform is not a PNP or a JLP platform. This platform is a Jamaica platform. And if you come over here,
by my background.
if you come over here to disrespect anybody, I reach a point where I don't want to block people, I'm going to block them. If you're looking for somebody of the opposite sex, don't come over here.
It's one of these times I'm happy I'm blind because I can't see any of these comments. So I just talk and share my views.
Go ahead, Mr.
It's a democracy. All views must contend.
Yeah, but again, what the people of Jamaica need to do at this point is to say to the Prime Minister, poverty went up to almost 17%. Most of the jobs that you're talking about, they're in the service industry and manual laborers, right? Crime is on the increase, no matter what you tell us, because when you took over this country, you campaigned against 1,208 murders and said, you going to make us sleep with our windows and doors open. And you have not gone below 1,208. So crime is up. We're holding you. This is almost like, when I say crime down, it's almost like saying, you create the problem. I give you, you campaign against a problem, right? And you say you're going to fix it. So now you get in office. The problem get bigger. We're under your administration. And then you slice it a bit and say, oh, crime is down. You say, no. Crime should be down from when you promised us it would go down. You took it at 1,208. Get it below 1,208 and then we can talk. When you talk about housing, when you talk about education, Jamaican students are performing below international standards in basic subjects. When you talk about the health sector, water, road. These are the things that if Jamaican people should be saying, we don't want to hear about Mark Golding. Mark Golding, them should say, constitutionally, is there something wrong with it, Mr. Prime Minister? The answer is going to be no. Legally, is there something wrong with it, Mr. Prime Minister? The answer is going to be no. Okay, well, talk to us now about the water and the roads and the housing and the health and the national security. That's what they should be focused on. This is a distraction. This is a real distraction. And I'm just hopeful that my people, their eyes are wide open and they can see it for what it is and say, there is nothing here. Let's move on. And that's how I feel about it. Because it's like, we just, like I said, we keep beating a dead horse. Yeah, it's dead already, you know. One has not violated any rules, any constitution, any laws. No, the man has not violated anything. So, you know, to me, it's a non-argument. And he need to put a stop to this. He need to just challenge them and say, you either bring an action against me or you shut up. It's that simple.
Simple. I want to ask this question of Jermaine, though. Jermaine.
Yes.
Do you believe in a ceremonial president or elected president?
So my preference is for an elected president. And I have a confidence in the Jamaican people to decide for ourselves what is in our best interest. Whenever you leave it up to politicians to make those kinds of decisions, I'm troubled by it. A few reasons why I'm generally in favor of the executive president, or the elected president rather. One, the president invariably will wield significant powers. And the power comes from the people. So it is the people who should determine who wields their power. I don't want a circumlocucious approach where you elect somebody into your parliament, then the parliament somehow gets to appoint somebody as prime minister, and then the prime minister and leader of the opposition working together. It is far too removed from the people. And so I want a president rather who is elected directly by the people. That's my preference. Now I know the arguments against it, and I've engaged with this debate. Right? People say, "Oh, you know, the president must be what's it called? A symbol of national unity and so forth." But you know what it is? It's not so much a symbol of national unity. It's just a lame duck. That's what it is. And I can't afford, my view is that I don't want to be paying millions of dollars for the upkeep of a lame duck, right? I want somebody who is accountable to me for the administration of the powers that I as a citizen have bestowed upon him. Yeah.
Mr. Rattigan, your views in that?
It should be an elected position. People should vote for whomever they feel is going to carry the mandate, who's going to propel the country forward. And so I don't believe in a ceremonial president, because we have one right now. It's called the Governor General, who cut ribbons and kiss babies and shake hands and have big parties at taxpayers' expense, making $30-something million a year, pays no income taxes, and is living off the dole. He's living free. Free car, free house, free this, free that. And he gets, what is it? They get 440, almost $500 million Jamaican dollars to run his little empire within Jamaica. The Costas and the you call them the JPs and all them people.
Yes.
So I would rather have the people vote for somebody, make people come out and stake their positions, and so that people can make an informed decision. I don't believe that. Yeah, I don't believe you should have somebody just, because you know what you're going to have already. You're going to have a lackey. You're going to have a friend and company thing where them just, install a friend inside of that position. And then to make it worse, you're looking at 12 years. First term is 7, and then they say after that you can re-up for 5. You don't need somebody like that for 12 years to sit on there and cut ribbons. And the other thing, I don't want my elected president to have the unfettered powers of the Governor General. I don't want that. People need to go back and read that Constitution and see how much power this man has. He hasn't exercised the powers. But God forbid that day when somebody who come in and feel like, hey, you know what, the Constitution say I can do this and I go and do it, we're going to have problems. So I would say dilute the power of the president. You cannot give him all of those powers that the governor general enjoys presently. You can't do that. So that's
and dilute the powers of the prime minister as well. The prime minister is effectively a prime ministerial dictator in Jamaican
there you
context.
go. I wouldn't argue with that. I wouldn't argue with that. So with that, for
something.
The president, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your point, sir.
For the president, it would be an elected president, and you'd have to dilute the powers.
Yes, we're gonna stay on the topic, but the item of news just coming up. We have been talking about earlier on.
Mm-hmm.
The Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Honorable Andrew Holness, has advised the Governor General of Jamaica, His Excellency Sir Patrick Allen, of the following changes to his executive to be effective tomorrow, May 21st, 2024. Robert Nestor Morgan to be Minister of Economic Growth and Job Creation Responsibility for Works. Senator Donna Morris Dixon is to be given responsibility for information, skill and digital transformation. Senator Actor Fitz Henry to be named Parliament Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister. So those are the changes of the Prime Minister's cabinet as of tomorrow, May 21st. You're commenting on that, River Radigan?
Well, it says Honorable Robert Nestor Morgan to be reassigned to the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation with responsibility. Not that he's going to be the minister.
Oh, yeah, sure, yes. Reassigned, yes.
Yes, just reassigned there. No, what I find interesting about this, and sometimes I have to wonder which school them people are going to, because we used to go Balmaji Primary, right down the street from which part, the zinc fence up, and yeah, that's right down the street, and nothing good not supposed to come from out of that community, but a whole heap of good people come from out of that community, right? No, here's what it says. It says further, after Senator Abka Fitzhenry to be named Parliamentary Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, said the administration is steadfastly committed to fulfilling its 2020 mandate to transform Jamaica into a peaceful, productive, and prosperous nation. Couple things with that statement. What happened in 2016? They never make that promise then in 2016 that Jamaica should be a peaceful, productive, and prosperous nation.
Yes, they did.
So why did it say steadfastly committed to fulfilling its 2020 mandate? What about the 2016 mandate? That's number one. That's a problem right there. Then look at what it says. The next paragraph. The adjustments will assist the administration in more efficiently and effectively deliver its policies and programs to the Jamaican people. So by saying that, what you're telling me is that Robert Nestor Morgan was not efficient and effectively doing his job, at least to the level that he should have been doing it, to deliver the policies and programs for the Jamaican people. So, and look how long it took him to realize that. You see how long it took him to realize?
Well, gentlemen, this is where I have to take my leave, unfortunately. I really wish I could stay on a while longer. But, I hope to be invited back. I hope I haven't crushed anybody's toe too severely. But,
no, I'm not calling. You need to come back. You need to come back.
I need to come back. All right, no problem. Looking forward to the call.
All right,
this Sunday is bad, though. It's Sunday or Saturday. When is your show again?
Saturday.
But if you listen,
we can't watch that on Saturday.
No, well then you pick the time, because we go from 3 till midnight. So you pick the time.
We will talk.
Indeed.
I send you a message, a WhatsApp message. All right. All the best, gentlemen. All the best. Thank you very much. Good conversation.
Thank you for coming on.
Keep the enlightenment going. All the best.
Yes, we'll do.
All right.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, man.
You have some people. I was told, Mr. Rattigan, that you have some people from the Labour Party who, when you're not singing their tune, they call you all sorts of name.
Yeah.
As what you always say, you look forward, you're not looking sideways. Straight ahead. But I'm blocking them. I don't want them on my platform, and you all can go to hell as far as I'm concerned. We're speaking truth to power over here.
Yeah. So the adjustments will assist the administration in more efficiently, and so I guess what he's saying is that Minister Morgan is not up to the task, and it took him 8 years. How long was he Minister Minister of
information. I think from 2016.
Yeah, hold on.
No, Mr. McCarthy, I think it's from 2016.
Then
Yeah, no, I think so 2016 because he came out and started saying that Ambassador Curtis Wall is a fake ambassador and all sort of stupidness. He should be fired from that time. Disrespecting the elder statement of this country. We're speaking about constitutional reform, dual citizenship, and also the way how they're saying that the Commonwealth citizen is having a problem in the parliament. The Prime Minister is saying that people coming with citizenship should sit in the parliament in the sense of becoming Prime Minister and so forth. But nowhere in the Constitution says that.
Yeah, I think he became 2020. I think sometime in 2022 he became because he was
Minister of Information,
Minister of Education, right? So sometime in 2022 he became Minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister with a responsibility for information. That's the title. Minister without portfolio, yeah. But you see that now I know him realize that him no good, you know. So him might get rid of him. Never too late for a shower rain though, but
So, Mr. Rattigan, what you're saying, if you're advising Mark Jefferson Golding tonight, what would you advise him pertaining to this, sir?
Let me tell you, Mr. Golding, listen to me, you can't go wrong. Just listen to me. I know you have a whole heap of advisors around you, and I'm not trying to defend you or anything like that, but I'm defending the principle enunciated in the Constitution. That's what I'm defending, the principle. It just so happens that you are the person that's affected, or they're claiming to be affected by the principle, but you're not. So here we go. All you have to do is instead of writing and this and that and telling me a life story and ass dead and crow fat, you don't need that. Here's what you do. You just say to them, listen, apparently my citizenships, plural, are a problem for you people. So here's what you do. You go and find out what laws have I broken. You go and find out what section of the Constitution I've violated. You go and find out what regulation, administrative regulation, I have violated. And then you bring your action. Bring your action. Because, and I'm giving you one week, because since you know I run up on the mouth, I give you 1 week to bring the action against me. And if you can't bring it, then you need to shut up. And the only time you open your mouth regarding this issue is when you're going to make the apology. So either you're going to open your mouth and make the apology, or you shut up. It's that simple. Not more. And just walk away and leave them. Because now the ball are in a film court now, them are run up them mouth. Bring the action then. Since you claim say it's a problem, bring the action. Because you know what is a problem? A problem is the Prime Minister's statutory declaration. That is a real problem.
Serious one.
That is a real problem. Yeah. We're going on. I can't wait for the Integrity Commission to come out with them annual report just to see what they're going to say this time around. Because for 2 years, you can't hear the illicit 6. That is a real problem. Water situation, that is a real problem.
And we haven't heard anything about Andrew Wheatley case. We haven't heard anything about the former Minister of Education case. Nothing at all I've heard about. And all they're trying to do is just put this thing front and center. For what? Go ahead, Mr. Rattigan.
Like now they say, we'll kick out teeth when kin teeth around here, we'll kick out teeth. Because the people need to understand that there are real issues affecting real Jamaicans in need of real solutions. This is not an issue. This issue. And like I say, I'm not defending Mark Golding. I'm defending the Constitution. And if people want to change the Constitution, then change it. But until you change it, you need to keep your mouth shut. Change it and then you can talk. Then change it and then you can say, oh, he's in violation, right? And here's the problem. Here's a problem about changing the constitution. There is such a thing called a grandfather clause, meaning that you cannot make something now illegal that was previously legal in the constitution. You can't do it. If something was legal in the constitution, what you can do is you can say, going forward, anybody who comes in the parliament, they must have one citizenship. You can say that. But you cannot say that, hey, you did have two and it was legal. Well, no, we're gone to one, so you have to leave or give up one.
Mr. Rattigan, Kirk is asking a question. How should a president come to us for vote? Would they come by the way of political parties if we become a republic? I think yes. Because same when you have in America, the Democrat president or Republican president.
Well, it depends on how you want it. I would rather have a president who is non-aligned, a president who is on the
a neutral
people's side.
president.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, I would say have a president who, because see, once you start getting into that, no, then you start, people start, oh, you get back into politics because no, you know, if there's a JLP administration, they would want to have a JLP president, right? And so that JLP president is going to follow the mandate. He's going to toe the line. And if they're successful in several elections, then you're going to have one person there. I don't like that idea. I want the people to make a choice, and I don't want it to be a political, any political alignment. Even if you have one, I don't want to know about it. I want you to come out and talk about what you're going to do for the people of Jamaica, right? And you notice I said people, I didn't say what you're going to do for the PNP people of Jamaica, or what you're going to do for the JLP people of Jamaica. And that's what I would like to see done. So whether will they do it like that? I don't know, but that's just my preference.
I have with me Justice. Justice, welcome to the program. Wilfred Rattigan. This is Justice. Wilfred Rattigan.
Big up yourself, Justice.
Hey, good evening, gentlemen. Mr. Rattigan, sir.
Yes, sir. You said the name like you know me. Are you hearing things? You said the name as if you know me. Are you hearing things?
I have been following your presentations, and you know how uplifting you have been, you know, and vocal you have been as it relates to, you know, the new Jamaica.
Now, thank you, sir. Thank you for following. And I'm going to encourage you. Probably you don't need any encouragement, but I'm going to encourage you to recommend the program to your friends, your families, your neighbors, and even
most
people
definitely.
And even say, look, you know, see our program, and you must check this out. And maybe we will get for like me after you watch this program. So.
There you go.
Justice, I want to ask you this question, Justice. You heard about what is going on in Jamaica, the whole charade of Mark Golding, dual citizenship, and Commonwealth this and Commonwealth that. Your views on it?
Listen, you know, every time a situation like this comes about, I laugh. You know, this is just another case of majoring in the minor. There are so many issues, major issues, that needs to be addressed in Jamaica as it relates to governance. And what we are zooming in on, or what the Prime Minister is zooming in on, is the status of Mark Golding's dual citizenship and using it as political meat. The nation is suffering. We're suffering as it relates to national security. We're suffering as it relates to the high levels of corruption that exists in the current government. We're suffering as it relates to healthcare. We're suffering as it relates to national development. These are issues, major issues. that needs to be addressed and focused on. So this whole hullabaloo over Mark Golding's dual citizenship, it's just another smokescreen. They are diverting from the major issues that is at hand.
Yes, indeed.
And let me add that it is up to us as a people of Jamaica that whenever they create these diversion, we need to redirect and refocus the people's attention on the issues that are at hand.
Indeed. We're going to switch some gears. Mr. Rattigan, you touched on the Prime Minister's statutory declaration. And you even said that if you want to see what is going to come out of the new integrity,
annual report.
Annual report. Then suppose when it comes out, Mr. Rattigan, there is nothing there. He hasn't filed anything or whatever. What should the people of Jamaica do?
No, he's filed. I'm sure he's filed because he had a March 31st deadline to file his statutory declaration. The question is whether or not it has been verified. And so the question I think you're asking me is, what if it come? What if they say they can't verify the 2020?
Right. Yes. Yes.
Well,
yes.
Jamaica people, please don't make me lose our phone. The whole of we are brothers and sisters, and we can't lose our phone. We can't lose our phone that way. How can you have a prime minister with 3 years in a row consecutively? 3 years. Statutory declarations cannot be verified or have not been verified. What that says, that is a serious problem there, because the IC, it shouldn't take that long for them to and it doesn't matter where it is, if it's with the investigative section or if it's with the complaint section. It shouldn't take that long. It shouldn't take years to complete that. What that tells me that they're having some serious problems with whatever he submitted. So, Jamaica just have to know what I'm supposed to do. I personally wouldn't want to have a leader with all of these problems with his statutory declaration. Because remember, the statutory declaration, the purpose of it is to show that you can account for the monies that you are, or the assets, because it's assets, liabilities, and income, and that everything must match up. So you can't make $1, and then when you look at your assets, you have $1 million in assets. You don't win the lottery, you don't inherit anything, you don't have another job. Questions must be asked: how you make $1, but then you have $1 million over here? Where this money come from, right? And if your prime minister cannot meet that simple test, and I should say our prime minister, because he won the election and he's our prime minister. And so you have to say, if our prime minister can't meet that test, then he has no right to continue being our prime minister. He has no right. And so people, and that's one of the reasons why I said people need to be informed, because all of the people in Jeffrey and Justice who would have come out and call us names and say you're this and you're that, I said to them, you can call me whatever name you want to call me, but at the end of the day, let's get back to the issues. No, you must tell me that these issues that we're talking about, they're incorrect. That's the real issue. The issue, right? The issue is the issues. That's the issue.
And what I don't understand with some people, and I don't want to really address them or whatever, but I have to. If whosoever is sending out the Labour Party propagandists, try and educate them on the Constitution, no? Try and educate them on what is going on within the Constitution. Because they go out there and I hear them talking some stuff, and honestly, I said to myself, what on earth are these people talking about? They have a smartphone, Google the Jamaican Constitution and read it. Read it. Go ahead.
You remember, Jeffrey, that I sat on the program. He did the Fundamental Rights and Freedom, Section 3. We did that. Well, and I did that piece on the powers of the Governor General.
Right.
Well, it's like we're going to have to go redo it and maybe take it from a different angle, but educate people about the Constitution.
But I tell you something, the Labour Party propagandists, they don't watch our program, because we speak truth. We don't come on propaganda news, no fake news. We speak truth. We dig within the Constitution and we speak about the Constitution. They don't do that. All the thing about is their party and their party is related. Go ahead.
You know, Justice. You weren't there at the protest in New York. Well, Jeffrey was there, and I'm telling you, there is a certain segment. You saw it. There's a segment of who people remember it. When Prezi, he would come out and he would say things like, "Hey, the Prime Minister's statutory declarations for 2021, 2022 have not been verified by the very institution he created to verify them. Who are mash up brand Jamaica?" And the people responded, "The government." And he went on, "Who are mash up brand Jamaica?" "The government." So we said, they claim that we are mash up Jamaica. And we said, but nobody elected us to run Jamaica. Nobody elected us. Right. The voters elected them to run Jamaica, and they are mash up. They're the ones mashing up brand Jamaica, and we're just highlighting it. That's all. So them get highlighting it. That's all.
And you know, I don't understand Justice and Wilfred again. Is that some people who get PhD, a doctor this and a doctor that, doctor of lies and doctor of nothing. There's one who came into New York, and one who get his PhD. There's another one who calls himself an entertainer. Well, as far as I'm concerned, he's trying to be relevant. And how he's a doctor this and a doctor. Doctor of what? Doctor of bad order? And before the one who came out to New York, before he educate his fellow labor rights on the Constitution, they're chatting nonsense to the Jamaican people. Why can't we see ourselves as Jamaicans and not as PNP or JLP and educate our people some more? The one who call himself an entertainer. You know, sure, go ahead, Justice. Make I keep my mouth. You go ahead, yeah. Go ahead, Justice.
I think it is clear that we're still entrenched in the whole tribal politics, you know, and in this day and age, it's something that we should shy away from and really put Jamaica first. I am not ashamed to say that I believe in policies, and policies that will advance the nation. I also believe that irrespective of what party forms the government, as long as what that party is doing is the right thing for the country, we must rally around the government, because the government is leading and leading effectively. Now, the same principle applies. If the government is not doing what it was elected to do, be it the JLP or the PNP, because those are the two major political parties in the country at the time. If the government fails to deliver to the people, it is up to the people to highlight the fact that the government is failing. And once we have highlighted the fact that the government is failing, the government can either do what is right for the people or step aside respectfully. We cannot continue like this. And let me tell you something. If you are called to lead, then lead, and lead with dignity, lead with integrity, be honest to your subjects or the people that you are called to lead. This leader is deceptive. This leader is corrupt. And we, the people, we can see this, and this is what we're talking about. We're not talking about labor rights and comrades. We're talking about doing what is right for Jamaica. And this is why
Justice,
we're here. This is why we're on this platform.
but Justice, you have some people, you know, who they don't see the corruption, you know, because they're getting a part of the corruption money, you know, who not work in a hospital, working at Montego Bay Metro. And who not work at Montego Bay Metro, they work at Tourism Metro. And who now work at Tourism Metro, they get money from Kobe, sales of Kobe land. And if we talk certain things, that's how we know what we're talking about.
Well, you know what? It is good to know that there are still some among us that are not for sale. I got a haircut recently. And as I sat in the barber's chair, a reporter from Wink News came in trying to interview some people as it relates to a shooting that happened and in the Fort Myers area. A case where a police shot a young man. And the discussion came up, people were asking, why is it that Jamaica's crime rate, or Jamaica is ranked as #1 in the world as it relates to murder per capita, right? And people were surprised that Jamaica was ranking at #1, a small nation like Jamaica. But then the next question was, what is the government doing about it? And the people that were engaged in the conversation, they were not Jamaicans, they were Americans. They were Black Americans, and they were concerned with Jamaica, a small country, being ranked #1 as it relates to murder per capita. And it's a shame sitting there as a Jamaican listening. I did not even try to engage. But you know what? Our people have been divided by those who have been elected to lead, and they themselves have no love for the people. And that is it, you know. Yes. Our leaders have no love for us. And that is why the country is bleeding the way it is.
Yes. One more from me, Justice. I have a call in line. Caller, go ahead. Hold on for me, please. I don't know what's going on here. Hold on for me, please, ma'am. Hold on for me, please. Hold on. Hold on. Go ahead for me.
Thank you. Good evening again, everyone.
Good evening.
Surrounding the leader of opposition and his dual citizenship.
Yes.
I do not think that the government, under the leadership of Mr. Holness, quite understand what they're about. There are 3 rules, 3 laws that needs to be looked at. And I think he has only looked at 2. And in matters such as this, it is essential to consider all the relevant laws and regulations when assessing this matter. Now, the Jamaica Constitution has specific provisions regarding the eligibility to hold public offices, including leadership. And it has outlined about 5 criteria. However, in section 41, I think, yes, section 41, it states there that a person may have, if you have dual citizenship, you may enter representative, you may become a member of parliament, etc.
Hold on for me. It's section 40 of the Constitution.
Oh, section 40.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much for your correction. Yes, and it definitely says the person, if that person has dual citizenship from another country, which is not consistent with all the laws in Jamaica, then such a person, I would have to renounce the other citizenship, other than the one for Jamaica. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Are you hearing it clearly, Mr. Rattigan?
Tell her to repeat. Tell her.
Hello?
Okay, can you repeat? Can you repeat what you said a while ago for Mr. Ortegan, please?
I am saying that in section 40, as you have said, there is a clause there that permits persons with dual citizenship. However, if they are from a country, the other citizenship is from another country which is not in line with the laws and the rules and rights in Jamaica. They are different. Say if you are an American citizen, their laws might be a little different from that of Jamaica. That individual would have to renounce his dual citizenship. That's my understanding. But as I said before, it is essential to consider all the relevant laws, and there's the Commonwealth laws, which supersedes these now. And in the Jamaica, in the Constitution, the ROPA, Representative of the People Act,
yes, ma'am,
allows individuals from Commonwealth countries to hold public office, including membership in the House of Representatives. If you are a person from Jamaica and you have citizenship from the UK, you're part of the Commonwealth, you would not have to renounce your duality. That is my concept. So Mr. Mark Golding would have no problem at all whatsoever to hold leadership roles in Parliament or to be leader of the opposition. The Commonwealth Citizen Law aims to promote unity and cooperation among member states and the free movement of people and ideas within the Commonwealth. So in the case of Mr. Golding, citizenship should not be a barrier to his leadership, and he should definitely be allowed to keep his dual citizenship without any challenge whatsoever. I don't think Mr. Holness is fully aware of what the Constitution is about. He has gone into a corner, first of all, with a few members of Parliament from his party, and he has hidden the new Constitution that he's trying to implement and establish, hidden it from the people of Jamaica to whom it belongs. The people know nothing about what is in this new Constitution. The opposition, on the other hand, was just given a few moments to glance at it. The Constitution cannot be done like that. It's not a set of rules that Mr. Holness write and give to the people. It's for the people, by the people. The people must be involved. No form of education was given to the Jamaican people. And therefore, whatever document he has, as far as I'm concerned, is null and void. Mr. Rattigan can clarify me if I'm incorrect.
You're correct.
Yes. So Mr. Holness now needs to go and look at the Commonwealth laws, which counteracts what he is saying. He was on one of the radio stations this morning denouncing
CVM.
That's correct. And he was quite bold, but he needs to go back, and I do not think the Jamaica Labour Party, neither the leaders nor their members, are very literate. I'm very sorry to say that. But I think there's high level of illiteracy going from the top straight through. Mr. Holness needs to go to school. Go back to school, take a seat in Mr. Mark Golding's class, and learn about the Constitution, because over and over and over he supersedes it to satisfy his own needs. And this cannot be done. So he cannot demand that Mr. Golding give up his dual citizenship. And that's my view. Thank you very much, Mr. Tavares. I will sit back in your class and listen to the feedback.
Before you go.
From what I have said.
Thank you so
Have a
much.
great night.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Before you go, caller.
Mr. Tavares.
Hold on for me. Go ahead. Go ahead, Justice.
I just wanted to highlight and say to the caller that the Jamaica Labour Party, they're not dunce, they're not stupid. They're fully aware of what they are doing. The problem is they take the Jamaican people for the dunce and for the fool. That is why they are saying the things that they are saying, believing that the people are stupid. But we are not. And they have failed to recognize that we now live in the age of information, where access to information, well, let me not say that, but information is at our fingertips. We can research and get the truth. And the truth at this point in time will set us free.
Set us free.
All right, caller. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Tavares.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a wonderful evening. I'm back in my class.
Thank you. Wow, it's good when they can get here Jamaicans to come out and speak to us, you know. And word for that again.
Mhm.
No, and you know, I was just looking through the chat, and Justice is absolutely correct that
Yes.
in this instance, they know what they're doing, and they're banking that the Jamaican people can't figure it out. So while we would be tempted to call them dunce bats, they're not dunce bats.
Mhm.
They're looking at it as dunce bat, and they say we can feed them this rhetoric and have them run with
Mhm.
it. It's just like there's somebody in the chat who, and I heard it too. I've heard it quite a few times that people are saying, "Oh, if you protest against your country, you're a traitor." That person
There you go.
needs to be educated. And I'll tell you why. Whoever you are, if you go to the Jamaican Constitution, I don't know if you're in Jamaica, but if you go to the Jamaican Constitution, right, chapter 3, the chapter of fundamental rights and freedoms, and you section 13,
Subsection.
13.3
Yes.
C, 13.3
Repeat it again for me, please, sir. Repeat it again for me, please, sir.
Yeah, it's the chapter 3 of the Jamaican Constitution. It's entitled Chapter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms. And if you go to section 13.3C, it says you have the right to freedom of expression. And then if you go to E, it says you have the right to freedom of peaceful assembly and association.
Explain what peace. Hold on, Mr. Rattigan. Hold on for me. Hold on for me, Mr. Rattigan. Explain what peaceful assembly mean, because maybe they don't know it either.
Peaceful assembly mean that you can get a group of people together and then you can protest based on the right to freedom of expression. So you use 13.3C and 13.3E. Right to freedom of peaceful assembly, where you get a group of people, like we did in New York. You get a group of people together, assembled, and then you speak your mind. That is perfectly constitutional, perfectly legal. I don't know why people say we're traitors. And if you live in America, I'm sure you know about the First Amendment. And let me just read you what it says. The First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution prevents the government from making laws respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise of religion or abridging the freedom of speech.
One moment, please.
Or abridging the freedom of assembly, or abridging the right to petition. So it reflects, actually, the Jamaican Constitution reflects what's enshrined in the U.S. Constitution, which says essentially that you have the right to petition against your government in a peaceful manner. Yes. Perfectly legal.
One moment for Mr. Rattigan. Hello, caller. Welcome to the program. Hello? Hello, caller. You're live. Welcome to the Make It Our program.
I'm just calling in to make a comment. I think the Prime
One
Minister
moment,
of
please.
Jamaica
One moment, please. One moment, please. One moment, please. Go ahead.
Yes, I was calling in to say that the Prime Minister of Jamaica needs to know the Constitution. I think he is ignorant. Also, he is unaware that anyone who is a Commonwealth citizen is eligible to run in the Parliament of Jamaica. He ought to get his facts straight, and I think he is a dunce. He needs to go to the back of the class with a dunce cap. I'm out.
Thank you very much for calling in, caller. My lord.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Maybe just Mr. Rattigan, maybe we should do the phone line until about 10 o'clock. What's your views on that, Mr. Rattigan?
Yeah.
We're gonna open the phone lines. Oh, hold on there, another call coming in. Hello, caller. Welcome to the program.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. How are you doing?
I'm not bad. Good night.
Good night.
But, my son has write a letter and he wanted to read it to Mr. Rattigan. Come my way.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, my listen. Good night.
Good night, son. How are you doing?
Doing fine, thank you.
Go ahead and read it to Mr. Rattigan.
Good night, Mr. Rattigan. I am 13 years old and I watch and learn a lot from you with my father's passing and how the Prime Minister is running the country. You give me hope for a better future, not only for me, but for youngsters like me. Thank you, sir, and all the other YouTubers. Thank you. And special thanks to Miss Denise Clark. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll convey the special thanks to Miss Denise Clark for you and your mom. But thank you for your encouraging words, and I've heard about you, and I trust, hope, and pray that you will continue to thrive and to succeed, and you make us all proud. Your mom is extremely proud of you, as well she should, and so are we. So I look forward to great things coming from you. And if I can just impart a little bit of my knowledge to you, and you receive it and act accordingly, I'll be extremely grateful. So thanks again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Miss P.
Yes, sir.
So hold on there. You have the Silicon Valley bill yet?
Miss sir. I mean, I'm a boy there. I watch and he said to me, I watch Mr. Rattigan, you know, and we don't happen to me. We want to write him a letter. I say, write and read him, making hear. And we hear.
Hold on there, no, man, before you go now. You know, see my trouble sometime. So you're saying to me that your PM come down there and say, no, promise me on Silicon Valley. And I know Silicon Valley no start bill.
Make what? But one thing will make glad find out. And people always say, no, God now sleep. Right now, Pampas are sell off hard.
Why Pampas are sell off hard?
One of them. Because then things that there's all time people say you spit in the sky, it fall in your face. And some things when they sit down at Jamaica, ask it and do. It doesn't come out little. No. Look how low the JLP party there. That you're gonna go and talk about Mark Golding towards this in a Commonwealth. No, you're a Prime Minister. And you should know better. You that to people when you know better. You don't know the Constitution, don't know you be there right. What kind of business is in a country? You let cut back that right say Paul Bogle fights for Finland. How stupid is the young people them? You remember days gone by, people used to left school and make out and go to parliament, go sit down and listen to parliament and understand. We used to go to courthouse as a student in our uniform and then give we seats, sit down in there and listen to case try. What is this? But I want to say to you, all of the YouTubers, we alone tomorrow, Matic, Jeffrey, me can't call you all on name, but thank you, no. Who don't know, you know. Who don't know what do for Jamaica, you know. Who know is the best thing from creation. Who know what my new generation. And night time, you know, me and my son discuss, you know. And when Mr. Rattigan talk, you know, the man go up and Google and go look here and say, Mommy, look here. I choose Rattigan talk, you know. See there, but the film problem no one section, this and section that you know like a party. But he read it himself and he understand it. And he must say, Mommy, your man the bright, you know, man. And we have learned some, you know. And he must say to me, say, Mommy, if I name two, then would I send out lawsuit, you know. So if Mr. Loan to my beat them, you know, Mr. Loan some raw, they would have sent out lawsuit for him. But because of the fact he matter, they can't read.
Mm-hmm.
And the man are looking at you, and the man say, Mummy, you are going to work 10 o'clock. And in that them time, you have to leisure bed 5 o'clock. If you reach our work 10 o'clock in 2024. And I see him parish going on. You see, they put it in a learn. They put it in them and see. And I want to tell you again, many thanks.
Yes.
Uno oversaw, but you know the impact of greatness. I want to show out here. Even my school friend them are discussing. Even them kind of talking about the president and how Mr. Biden are president, and if when Andrew Wallis turn president, he might go at Air Force One. Listen, the pick them ask. And then I ask again.
What I will do, hold on there. What I will do, you see, whenever you finish here, I'll let you hang up. I'll let Mr. Rottigan answer that one there. Continue talking.
Yeah, and them say again, say Putin.
Vladimir Putin.
In killing Navalny, and I think killing man, he run election, him alone run, him alone win. And we are talking with people in my workplace now. Everywhere you go and see a couple people gathering. I hit them at that boat. Right down a Melissa case, dip on them head. Everywhere you turn and look people gathering at that. How he body left tranquility and Ghana Archer. Everywhere you go, you have beat them, you know. When I say you have beat them, I mean to say, you have beat them, you know. And loan some this raw with you know. He might beat left, right, and center. He might show up a little while in Miami. I wait for plane to come at Jamaica, American Airlines, and he flight delay. Loan some no easy, you know. One time I show all digital. Say the woman phone number don't exist. You see them sitting me up in that country. God thank you know. And as me always say, behind every good man, there's a good woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank you know, and me thank you know, family. For sending you how to we, the help we, and big up to all of the ladies and your family, your kids them. Thank you know, very much. And with me and my dead left with me, he might learn a lot. When me say the boy, I learn, me just say the boy, sit down. He know when Mr. Rottigan come, he know every YouTuber, he know when them come and anything, when he go to school, he come back, he come catch a replay. Yeah. He know it, and he listen, and he learn. Can go to school one day and one girl must touch him. And he touch back a little girl. Them a ram, and little girl was saying touch him pan him body. My say, life and fear. You first touch me and make me touch you back. And now you can report me. And a teacher run them out of the class.
Oh Lord.
You understand?
Yes. Anyway, my friend.
Guys, yeah, we'll continue watch.
All right, darling. Thanks much. Thank you.
All right.
Mr. Rottigan, is there gonna be a explain? No, I'm not gonna laugh. Explain the whole idea of well, based on how this run, maybe the prime minister can appoint himself as president, yes? Are you wife? Rotty?
Oh no, you know, I look, the people, as Ms. P said, the people are getting smarter. We just need them to get courageous because they're listening, they're learning, but they're fearful. Them don't want to come out and protest, exercise their constitutional rights to peacefully assemble and to raise issues. I noticed that there was a protest, I think yesterday or the day before, about what's going on in Palestine. And I said, you know what? Yes, you protest for humanitarian, issues around the world, but you have something in front of you. That's called a government. You have a government in front of you that's not doing what it is supposed to do. And just as how you protest for other issues, you can protest for your issues as well. But you don't see them doing that because they're fearful that if them do it, harm will befall them or some retribution will befall them. Well, we over here, we don't worry about that. We just do what we have to do, and we will continue to do it. And hopefully the Jamaican people will feel inspired that at some point they will gather peacefully and raise their voices in unison against the maladministration, the bad governance of the government. And I said, I've made it clear to people. I said, look, I'm not saying change government. I'm saying government must change. Must change in the sense that there's a social contract between you and the people. Honor that contract because the people did their part. They voted you in. It's your chance now to do for them what you said you were going to do. We found in the last 8 years, that's not going on. It's not going on. And so people need to just understand that you can't live on just rhetoric and promises. In fact, the Prime Minister said he doesn't make promises, he makes commitments. And we don't see where that commitment is benefiting anybody at all. So, we'll just...
We don't see where he's following through.
Mr. Roth, you can continue talking. 2 minutes, I'll be back in 1 minute.
Yeah. So... Yeah, like 6R said, the Jamaica's pressing issues, and they need to get those issues out there. But and I see where regarding the permit, I see where Mr. Lloyd D. Aguilar, he was charged for protesting without a permit, and his trial, I think, is scheduled for next month because he said he wasn't protesting, he was just having a meet. There were only 2 people, I think, out there at the time. So that's going to be... Sounds to me like the judge is leaning in his favor. So we'll see what becomes of that. But people, we need to get out there and we need to protest because the idea of just sitting back and just hoping... and I know, a friend of mine said to me, you know what? The Jamaican people, they get a chance to voice their opinion every 4 to 5 years. But is that what we really want to do? Is that how we really want to approach the problem? You just suffer in silence and wait 5 years or 4 years and then you vote? Is that what we really want to do?
Well, I guess at this point in time, this is what we have to do in terms of wait for the election. Because this current Prime Minister, he is definitely ruling with tyranny and vengeance, and the people fear that if they step out and speak out, they'll be targeted and they'll be on the wrong end of his wrath. What we need to do is to remove this dictatorship government, headed by Andrew Holness. We need to remove them, uproot them from their places of governance, because their job is obviously to oppress and suppress the people, suppress the people's expression and oppress them daily, and I think that the Jamaican massive, they will take to the polls and they will exercise their constitutional right and vote this government out. And any government that comes thereafter that displays in any form or shape the same level of tyranny that we have experienced under this Andrew Holness administration. Jamaica has no room for dictatorship, none whatsoever.
Yeah, you know what? I'm listening to you, and I mean, I can't improve upon anything you've said. I mean, you've said it all. You said it well done, perfectly said. The question I have for the Jamaican people is this: when the Prime Minister is at home at night and he's thinking about issues. You think he's thinking about your issues, or is he thinking about retaining power? You think he's sitting there thinking about how can I help my people? How can I do this? Or is he thinking, hey, how can I stay in power? How can I win the next election? That's exactly what I think he's doing. And he's thinking about how can he retain power. He's not thinking about you. He's not thinking about you. Because if he had been thinking about you, the things that he promised in 2016, 2015, they would have been fulfilled by now. But and the man has no shame. He has no shame because we keep playing the 100 day promise, and the man, you know,
Promises,
it's almost like it's almost like him just not care, and the administration, they don't care, and them just look right past it. And I said to them,
I think what they're saying in Mr. Rattigan is that you people are just yapping. And nothing gonna be done. Yap. Sure, Rattigan say yap. Until they get what they call it again, Mr. Rattigan, the mag, I can't pronounce the name. You say
Magnitsky.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, and that may they say it loud and clear that, you know, we're just talking. Well, before us, there really was nobody doing what we're doing, right? Before us, there's nobody holding their feet to the fire. Maybe one or two persons, but as a group, a group didn't exist. Then social media came along, and then all of a sudden we have this group of people now, and we have differences. We have differences about a lot of things, but we have a commonality, and the commonality is that we have to hold government accountable. Right. And while we say it, the difference about this diaspora now is that we're not selling out. We're not agreeing to a lot of things that our predecessors agreed to. And we're looking at what they did and we're going, my goodness, why did they agree to that? Now I'm being told that, like, for example, Jeffrey, that the terms of reference that we have now, I'm being told that that was not the terms of reference that the diaspora signed off on. When it went to Jamaica and it came back in a different form.
Change.
And then the question I have them is that, so when you see it, what you say, you never complain and say, this is not what we signed off on. But that's what I'm being told, that it was changed. No, this diaspora here now, we're different because what we do, we talk, we highlight the issues, and we've done so, more stridently, you know, more vociferously, more, you know, aggressively than our predecessors. We have talked about the issues. We do deep dive and all of that, but there are other things we're doing. No, in the history of the diaspora of Jamaica, nobody ever come out and sue the government. Nobody ever come out and protest against the government. Nobody ever come out and say, we're going to talk to our politicians and make them see if we can apply the Magnitsky Act and take away your visa, take away your assets, and then we're going to talk to the FBI and say if we can get the International Corruption Unit to start a case against you and lock you up. Nobody has ever done that. So we want the Jamaican people to take heart, knowing that you have some champions out here, you have some fighters out here, some people who they're not turning their backs on you, you know, and that would be easy to do.
I just want to add that over the years, the diaspora has been giving all their monies, sending back monies to Jamaica, looking for sponsorship and donating to various programs. Well, now we're not only giving our monies, but we're putting our mouths where our money is going. We are now having a voice. We're speaking up. We're telling you, the government of Jamaica, that you are rotten. We're telling you, the government of Jamaica, that you are failing. We're telling you, the government of Jamaica, that we're no longer just going to give you our resources, but we are demanding accountability, and we are going to be vocal until the change that we're looking for comes.
Well
Yeah.
said. Go ahead, Mr. Rattigan.
Yeah, and so again, to echo what Justice said, that's it. We're taking action. We're just not talking. You know, we're taking action and we're holding people accountable. And how do you know it's working? Because them come up with look, if something is not bothering you, you don't pay it any attention. You know, why?
Mhm.
Don't waste time. You don't pay. And look how much attention we're getting. Did you know, Jeffrey and Justice, that this past Sunday in the Sunday Gleaner, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade took out a full page thing. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
And they talk, yeah.
Mhm.
It's in the chat, Jeffrey. It's in the chat.
Okay, I'll look at it.
It's in this past Sunday Gleaner. They put it out there and they're trying to justify their existence and explain their actions. And a friend of mine from Jamaica called me and said, this has never happened before. I don't know what's going on here. They're appealing to us, but they should be appealing to you guys, because you're talking about people here who want to know about food and bus fare and bread and butter and them things, and they might talk to us about diaspora. So it's almost, here's what I think they're going to do. The conference that they're planning for June 16th through June 19th. I'm telling everyone who can hear me or see me, whatever, don't go. Do not support that. Come to our conference, the People's Conference. And how do you come to our conference?
That's right.
Online. You don't have to travel.
There you go.
It costs nothing. You just come home, cock up your foot, get a nice plate of food, and you sit back and you listen, and you can participate. We're going to have a question and answer session, open the phone lines, and you call. Not like the one in Jamaica where them come and them talk, and only 2 questions get asked, and none of them get answered.
Mhm.
None like that. You're going to get real solutions. You're going to get real information. So here's what I think they're going to do when they put out this thing. I've been told by sources, reliable sources, that the registration is not going as planned. Remember, they said they expect 1,000 people to come, and I'm hearing that the register, because now they even extend the early bird session where you only pay like $150 if they extend the date now because they're not getting enough people. And people, UK,
Right.
people in UK, Europe, Africa, Asia, North America, the Caribbean, South America, no go at the conference. Watch our conference, because their conference, they said you're gonna have impactful dialogue about what on it? No gonna away. Hold on, me don't want to make a mistake. Hold on it. Let me read what them say. Them going to do it for them conference. For them conference. Hold on a second there. Is going to talk about. Oh, here it is. Yeah. All right, here it is. Them say. Them out. Let me go to the one about. They're going to have impactful dialogue. I'm looking for the one on. I just want to give you an example. I'm looking for the one on.
Continue looking for that, Mr. Rattigan. Tomorrow I get to understand that the opposition leader will be addressing the nation tomorrow at a press conference. We'll bring that to you live also. Opposition leader Mark Golding will addressing the nation at a press conference tomorrow, I was told. I'll dig deeper in that to find out if it's really a press conference or an interview. Mr. Rattigan, ready for us?
Yeah, man, ready for you. Here's what they said that they will engage in. Remember, I've told our people that the conference that the Jamaican government is having from June 16th to June 19th is a business conference. It's a conference about selling products, services, and having people invest. Most of us in the diaspora, we don't have them kind of money with them at about for going invest. We busy up here our bills, and I send money to go take care of, Grandma Kia and Uncle Tony and so
on. Sister Tim, Mas Drew.
Right.
Yes.
We don't have time for come on, because think about it now. People, you're going to have to take off from work, right? A week, at least a week. You're going to have to take off from work. You're going to have to go buy a plane ticket. You're going to have to go pay a hotel fee. You're going to have to go pay ground transportation, taxi or whatever. You're going to have to go use up your phone, right? And you're going to have to go buy some food. And you have to go spend some money on miscellaneous items. And on top of that, you have to pay to come in at the conference. Your conference,
Makes no sense.
You have to pay to come in your conference. If you don't pay, you're not coming in. It's that simple. So we saying, no. And they're going to discuss investments in Jamaica, and you can buy, $1 million homes, and you can invest in this project and that project and blah, blah, blah. They're not talking about the issues affecting Jamaicans. Most of Jamaica, they're not talking about that. So here's what they said. They said they're going to engage in impactful dialogue at the conference. Impactful dialogue, that means just back and forth. People just a chat, right? And for crime prevention and national security, you think they would have a whole bunch of things to say. They say, for crime prevention and national security, we will be exploring innovative strategies to build safer communities. Explore now. Remember now, 2016, that wasn't the word them use and say explore. Them say, yeah, go able to sleep with the windows and doors open. And that them come up with plan secure Jamaica. So all of this is just nonsense. You're going to explore innovative strategies. Why wasn't that done? And no one come to it. Then listen to what listen to ours now.
Caller, hold on for me, start again. Caller, hold on for me, caller. No noise, please. Hold on. Let me start again.
Here's what we have for our national security. We said to them, you will have impactful dialogue. We said, no, come to us for strategies and solutions, right? And for national security, we said we're going to talk about poor leadership, mismanagement of resources and personnel, porous borders, high crime rates, failure to implement national strategy like Plan Secure Jamaica, human rights violations under the states of emergency. These are the things we're going to talk about and talk about solutions to them. So that's what I'm saying. Don't waste your money and go to FIDEM conference, because it's going to be a waste. If you have to go to Jamaica during that time period, if you're already scheduled to go, ignore their conference and go visit your family and friends. Spend some money on the Jamaican economy. Help some vendor, that can forget the money for take care of them families, but spend the money in the community. But do not go to this conference. This conference is a ripoff. Do not go to this conference. All them going to do, chat. You get some selfies with some minister who tomorrow never remember you, right? So you can even call him when you come and say, who you again? Come to our conference, the People's Conference, from June 16th to June 19th, from 7 o'clock New York time, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. New York time, which is 6 p.m., 9 to 9 p.m. Jamaica time. Thank you for your thank you.
Thank you. Caller? Hello?
We're not only
Hello, caller?
giving our money, but we're putting our mouths.
Hello, caller? Hello, caller? The caller was playing back what we were playing. Caller, you can call back. We're gonna go off air pretty soon, but you can call back. 954-529-8030. It is now 9:15 in Kingston, Jamaica. We're watching and listening from around the world in the Eastern Caribbean. It's the Make We Talk program. There was a call online. We're saying hello to. Go ahead, Mr. Rattigan.
Somebody named Kirk said, I don't get this. Can this group provide passports to Jamaica? Why would you create an untenable relationship with the Jamaican embassy? Kirk, I don't know who you are, but get this through your thick skull. The embassy and the consulate, they're here to provide that service. We now beg them. And what's going on now? There is a logjam because you cannot get your passport in a reasonable time period. You know many people I know who are telling me them submit for a passport and then wait 4 months, 6 months, 10 months, a year, right? And you know why? Because there's a problem with PICA, which comes under the Ministry of National Security, and the embassies, high commissions, and the consulates, they come under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. They need to break that logjam. And just so you know, why would you create an untenable relationship with the Jamaican embassy? We're not trying to create an untenable relationship. The Jamaican embassy represents the government of Jamaica. And so what we have to do is we are bringing our protests there. It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal against the ambassador. It's all about the business of Jamaica. That's what when I say business, I'm not talking about financial, the business there, the business conference they're having from June 16th to June 19th. I'm talking about taking care of business in Jamaica, taking care of your people. Your people are your greatest resources. Without them, you have nothing, right? And you're breaking their backs by what you're doing right now. What we have right now with a minimum wage of 13,000 Jamaican dollars, given the inflation and all of that, it's slave wages. Do not forget that we have a prime minister who said he increased the minimum wage from 8,000. He increased the minimum wage 100%. That's what he said, and he increased it from 8 to 13. So that should give you an idea of where we're going. 2 8 at 13, 8 and 8 plus 8 at 13. That's what the prime minister said. So you can see where we're going with this. Then we have don't forget we have the gentleman from Portland, that mayor, whatever, who come up with some really unique brand of mathematics that nobody can figure out up to this day. So when people put nonsense like this about why do you want to create an untenable situation, progress will involve sacrifice. It will involve controversy, and that is where we are. That is where we find ourselves, because these people are not going to change. We have asked them, and they're not changing. So we have to take action. So Kirk, what you should do, Kirk, is you think it is asking a reasonable question. No, it's an unreasonable question. You show a level of ignorance that what you should do, Kirk, you should sit back and listen and learn and ask intelligent questions. Don't ask foolish questions. We don't have time for people like you on this platform. Get educated or listen, and then you can ask a sensible question. But when you ask a fool question like, why do you want to create an untenable situation with the embassy? That's ridiculous.
One moment,
Kirk, some people are wise, and some people are otherwise. You're acting like you're in the otherwise category right now.
Yes. Caller, go ahead.
Yeah, good night again. That's a topic we forgot to talk about.
Yes.
Yes, I met a young man who work with.
Were you getting married?
No, man. I met a young man. He worked with GK, that are Grace Kennedy.
Yes.
But he worked over the finance part. So we are talking. I got married to her soon. So I say, give me some of your work, the man, I might tell me. So argument and we chat. You know what you tell me, say, Diaspora send the most Western Union, send the most money to Jamaica.
Yes.
And we're not talking about no politics. No politics, we are talking about job and qualification to get a job and so. So I said, no, sir, what do you mean? Not tourism. He said, tourism. You mad, mommy, no. Check Western Union. I said, what you say? So I said, that's for the spend money. He said, yeah. The man's young boy, my son, my age. So we thought the diaspora, the country shut down and he worked there.
True.
So we said, we can't tell him.
All right.
Facts.
Yes. All right, my dear. Thanks so much for calling in.
She's absolutely correct. And here are some things that we don't pay attention to. They say that, oh, well, you send the remittances, you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart to support your family members and your neighbors and blah, 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 blah. And then they tell you that tourism are bringing close to $4 billion, right? And you see the minister just come out the other day and admit that it's 40% of that money actually coming to Jamaica. Now, I heard today from another reliable source that it's more like 25% of that money coming to Jamaica. Because when you purchase a ticket from here, when you say, you come Jamaica, come for a vacation, first of all, Jamaica have no national airlines. So the money going to Delta, American, or some other foreign airlines. Then when you book Sandals or wherever, that money is not going to Jamaica. It's going to a bank
in the United States
outside of Jamaica. And what they do is, what they bring back to Jamaica, they bring enough money to pay staff and to do maintenance work and some other little miscellaneous stuff. The money is not being invested in Jamaica. That money stays outside the country. So what that means is that if the diaspora members, and I was calling up because several people in diaspora have actually called for this to say, you know what, to show them how powerful we are, we should not send money to Jamaica for a month. Just so not sending money. And so they get no foreign exchange in the country, because also, you know, they make money off of when you send money, you know, when you send money through Western Union, MoneyGram, whatever. Remember now, them pay a fee to the government, you know, for operating.
Oh, yes.
You know? So people shouldn't, when them say, oh, it's just for, you know, it's just for your mother and your cousin and your granny and whatnot. It's not completely true. Yes, the money go to them, but then also you have people who pay taxes. You have people who invest. Right. Plus, them get the fee from people using MoneyGram and Western Union, and there are other things that they get money from the category what they call remittances. So I said to people, if you really want to know how important remittances are, don't send the money to Jamaica for a month, and you see what happens. Don't send the money, and you see what happens. The diaspora is the lifeblood of the Jamaican economy. If them don't send the money, it's over. It's over.
So true. So true. Mr. Rattigan, we're going to close out. But before we close, I want you to tell the people about what happened in New York and what we have planned for the other protests around the United States and also in Canada, England, and maybe in Europe.
Well,
or in South Africa.
Let me just say thank you for having me on, and want to express my thanks and my gratitude to the people in the chat and the people watching, listening, the people who support us. And even if you don't support us, I respect you. But what you need to do is, let's have a meaningful dialogue. Don't come with nonsense. Don't come with foolishness. We don't have time to waste, because the changes that we are advocating, the changes that we're calling for.
One moment, Mr. Rattigan. One moment, please. One moment. Sorry. Hello, caller. Welcome to the Mercury program.
Hi, Jeffrey. How are you?
I am good.
Hi, Ratty. Hi, Mr. Justice.
How are you?
Hi, my dear.
Ratty.
Yes.
More, you stop bring down Jamaica here. You must stop it.
Yes.
You must stop it.
No,
stop
I'm not
bring down
bringing
the country.
No. Here's what I'm doing. And I think you have to make a distinction. I'm not against Jamaica. In fact, I love Jamaica. I've traveled all over the world. The best place for me is home, Jamaica. I love Jamaica. I love the Jamaican people. Here's what I don't love. I don't love bad governance. And there's a distinction between the people, the country, and the government. My argument is against the government and the way it's running the country. That is my argument. So I'm not bringing down Jamaica. I'm highlighting the ineffectiveness of government policies. That's what I'm doing. And there's a big difference.
Yes. Mr. Rattigan, our closing remarks now. We're going to have t-shirts from...
Let me just also respond to her and say, you know who are bring down Jamaica? A prime minister whose statutory declarations cannot be verified. A prime minister who won't sign the code of conduct. Poverty reaching 17%. Water problems from 20 that they claimed they were going to fix in 2016, and they said they're going to fix it in 2020. That haven't been fixed. Amending the constitution so that a DPP can get an extra extension when the constitution says she can't get any more. Violating people's rights when you do proclaim states of emergency and you detain people.
For.
Yeah, 1.7 trillion dollars. Those are the things we are bring down Jamaica. Oh, me for bring down. I know me I bring down Jamaica. I know me I do them things there. All I'm doing is highlighting that those things are happening. And I'm begging to say, listen, join us in the move to get the government to stop doing what it's doing. That is the issue. So people, when they say we are bringing down Jamaica, no, we're not bringing down Jamaica. We are highlighting the inefficiencies, the maladministration, the bad governance, and we're saying that we need to do better so that we can develop Jamaica so it can realize its fullest potential. That's all we're doing. The protest. There's a protest scheduled the end of the second week in DC. I'm a member of the group that's involved with it, but I'm not spearheading it. It's being spearheaded by none other than the illustrious Herb Nelson Jr. So he will be looking at that. He's making the plans and everything like that, and we're going to support him. Then after that, Mr. Lonesome is having one in Canada, July. I think it's 19th. He's having one, but that's going to be a banquet style thing. It's going to be a conference, so that we can discuss issues and have a good time while we're doing it. Then we're coming, or we're going back to New York.
Hold on. Don't touch it yet. Keep it as a secret. For now.
Okay, all right. So then we're gonna be in the UK in August. We're gonna be in the UK, date to be determined, and then we're also going back to Miami. Do you want me to tell them about?
Keep them about Miami, but keep the other one for a secret.
All right, we're going back to Miami, and CG Mayor, I admire you and everything like that, but it's nothing personal, sir. We just have to do what we have to do to get the attention of the government to do a course correction or leave. So we're coming back. It's just simple as that. We in New York, we had in excess of 350 people because the pen can accommodate 350, and then they close it. The police closed the pen. Some of our people came and actually went across the street and joined with the many anti-protesters. I think they numbered 8 or 9, and then once they realized that they were in the wrong group, they crossed the street and they came back over to our side. We have been marginalized. We have been characterized as a small group of people trying to make trouble for the Jamaican government and mash up brand Jamaica. And at one point, we were described as 3 to 5 people. Well, the 3 to 5 people brought out in excess of 350 people. And the group that claims to represent the wider diaspora, they brought out 8 people. So I rest my case right there. So DC, we want DC to be bigger than New York. And with each succeeding protest, we want the numbers to be bigger. We want the voices to be louder. And we want the attention to be broader. So,
as a matter of fact, Mr. Rattigan, tell them about New York again. Go ahead and tell them.
New York, what happened in New York was the people, there's an awakening. People, what they did was when they started describing us as 60 people, in fact, I think one reporter or one report said that there were 40 people, another said 60, another said 200, another said 250, another said 300, another said 350. They can't get the numbers straight. But one of the things that they did was, which was disingenuous. At one point, there were 30 people. At one point, there were 10 people, because when the security personnel, when they called me, when they come in, we were 2 blocks away, and I said to them, how many people over there? And the guy said to me, quote unquote, I know it's a family-oriented program, but he said, well, there's a shitload of police over here. And I said, how many demonstrators? He said 10. This was 8:30. We started at 9. We were supposed to start at 9, but the official start was going to be at 10 o'clock because we spent 1 hour just meeting and greeting and setting up. Right. And so what happened was they didn't put the time when they witnessed this 20, the 30, the 40, the 50. So if you read the article, you'd go, oh, only 60 people showed up. Yeah, 60 people were there at 9 o'clock, right? They don't tell you how many people were there at 10, 11, 12, because we ended at 1. So and in fact, people were telling me, one person told me that he was on his way to Grand Central and back going home after the protest. He was wearing his T-shirt. He came across a group of 15 people, and they said to him, hey, where you coming from, the protest? And he said, yes. And they said, oh, we're going. And he said, the protest is over. And I've heard 3 such reports, right? So people now are saying, oh, so that's what they're saying. They're saying it wasn't well attended. Well, guess what? You must have another protest here. You must have one. So we're going to return to New York, and people are going to come out in numbers that you won't even imagine. And we don't care about anti-protest. Like I was telling them, say, you sit on the side of the street, don't even look over there, so not over there, so for to look at. See, we're right here, so that is exactly what's going on. We will return, and we're going to get everything in order as we did the last time. And by the way, they tried to derail the protest. They called the 17th precinct, and they started asking all kinds of questions. And the police officer that I worked with, Officer Wiss, he said to me, listen, we cover the UN and we have protests here all the time, and we never get a call about a protest. People come in, they get the permits, and they go out on the protest, and nobody calls us. He said, for this protest, we got a lot of calls. So he was asking me, is there something that I should know? Is there something going on here? Because I don't know why we're getting so many calls about this protest. Questions like, do they have a permit? Did you issue them a permit? Why did you issue them a permit? How long is the permit for? Where are they going to protest? Why do they have to protest in front of the consulate? Why second up? All of these things. And he told them, look, the T's have been crossed and the I's have been dotted. This protest, they did everything by the book. He said they did everything by the book. And even when the CG came and turned her back on the people, even when they were telling her good morning, and she walked in, when she arrived, our tent was up for the DJ to protect his equipment. The tent was up. The police were there. They were there way before we got there. They watched him erect that tent, covering his equipment. It was not a big tent for cover people. It was just for him and his equipment. And she went inside the building. I don't know if she's responsible for this, but right after she went into the building, a few minutes later, the police officer came and said, you have to take your tent down.
The same officer who saw us putting up the tent.
The same officer who saw us putting up the tent. Yeah. Because we have videos of him.
Take it down.
Same officer came and said, hey, you have to take the tent down. And what did I say? I said to him, officer, rules are rules. And if the rule is that we cannot have a tent, then we won't have a tent. Thank you very much. So we're going to take down the tent. Down the tent.
Yeah.
No
Justice. When you look,
yes, sir,
at a consul general who is paid by the taxpayers of this country, you saw her and said, I said to her, good morning, Madam CG, how you doing? You're looking wonderful this morning. Looking rather radiant this morning. The woman turned her back one way. We're nothing, we're beneath her. In her full suit of green, like a green bug. Nothing to hello to us. And I said to myself, is this the Jamaica they're talking about, a 2030 vision? How does it look? For the NYPD officials are out there, and they saw her turn her back on us. She think that she's embarrassing we? No, she's bringing on brand Jamaica by not saying hello to us.
And remember, Jeffrey,
that's right.
Remember that she is there to not only represent the Jamaicans living in Jamaica, the government, but she's there to represent us as well.
That's right.
We are a constituency, because if we decide we're not going to deal with her, period, the government will have to do something about it. They'll have to remove her, right? So she's there to serve us as well. And she has to do outreach. And in fact, she was doing an outreach the same day we were protesting, because our protest, we planned the protest from February. In fact, the permit is issued, the date on it is March, right?
Right, yeah.
And then a few days before the protest, we heard that she announced that they're having a prayer breakfast or something going on in the embassy.
Yeah, the print we didn't come there.
Yeah, they're coming at noon. And then we said, fine, if they want to have that, hey, that's okay. That's no problem. And so that's why President was saying, Miss CG, are we invited to the prayer breakfast? Are we invited to the noon function? And she not pay him no mind. She does
no mind whatsoever.
And this is the same woman, you know. 2 weeks before, you see her jump up and down like Bunny Rabbit in a Pennsylvania.
Yes, the wine herself one doing.
I danced to Visa DC, right?
Yes.
That is where the dysfunction is. The elective representative believes that we the people are there to serve them. They don't understand that they are actually elected to represent and serve the people. So that is why they treat us as though we're beneath them. But again, this is an appeal. This is an appeal to the wider Jamaica to understand that we elect these people to represent us and to work for us. And this is what we are championing now, that the people in Jamaica rise up and understand who holds the true power And that is we the people.
Yeah, somebody just Lachlan said that we must play. Is Lachlan somebody? Yeah, Lachlan said next time play her music and see if she will accommodate us. You know,
That's true, you know.
we didn't play Mr. DC, so
That's
Ah,
true.
that's a good point. That's a good point, Lachlan. Remind me so when we get back there, next time in a few months we will be there. With
Yes.
permit and everything in order. Then we will play that song and see if she'll
Play our
come out
music.
and fraternize with us.
Gentlemen, this is where we're gonna say so long from here. Join us tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. I think it's 8 o'clock Jamaica time, 8 o'clock our time, 7 o'clock Jamaica time. The opposition leader of Jamaica, Mr. Mark Jefferson Golden, I think it's an interview or he would address the nation. I don't remember what it is, but I'm gonna figure that out. He will be talking about constitutional reform, I presume, and dual citizenship. So we'll be getting that feed to you live that we can listen to what they're saying, what he's saying. I want to say thanks to Jermaine, Justice, Wilfred Radigan for coming on the program this evening. An exciting program it has been. And this we're going to say so long for another night. Until you hear our voice again, may God bless you. And may God bless Jamaica land we love. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Remember to join Reason It Ratigan every Saturday from 3 o'clock until you say when.
Yes,
You
indeed.
can cook, wash, clean your house, cook, go down to Walmart, go down to Coronation Market and come back. He's still...
You know the Bob Marley song, there's so much thing to say right now. So much things to say.
Oh Lord. Justice, it's been a pleasure having you on again, my friend.
The important thing is that people
Yes, sir.
stay tuned in. You know?
Yes, indeed. People stay indeed, Ratty.
Yeah.
Justice, it's been a pleasure having you on.
It's a pleasure here, my friend and brother. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Can I request? Can I make a request, Jeffrey?
Go ahead.
I want to dismiss with our national anthem, which is a prayer.
Go ahead.
Eternal, guide us with a mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Be our light through countless hours. To our leaders, great defender, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth, be forever. Jamaica, land you love. God bless you, gentlemen, and may God bless Jamaica and bless its people.
All right.
Thank you, Justice.
We'll talk.
We'll talk.
Godspeed.
Godspeed, my friend.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk, people.
I want to say thanks to every single one of you who have been on this program. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Have a great night, everyone.
Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represent yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affect the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk.